Welcome to Amir Shakur Speaks with your host, Amir Shakur, that'll be me. Hello, everyone, and we made it. We made it again to the end of the week. Made it to another one, and definitely getting started for a early winter, late fall, and it's getting cold out there in Chicagoland for those of my peeps who are out in Chi-Town, the Windy City. Yeah, I'd like to welcome you guys to Amir Shakur Speaks with your host Amir King 7 Shakur. That'll be me. So today we're gonna do the weekend wrap up, the end of the week wrap up, and again I'd like to welcome you to Amir Shakur Speaks, which brings the best of information, faith, and politics, all done from an urban, inspirational perspective. Today our show is sponsored by Black America World News, the Chicago Urban Daily, Amir Shakur Speaks Broadcast Network, the Sum 7 Broadcast Network, or should I say the newly formed Sum 7 Broadcast Network, and the Thornton Township Citizens Action Committee. Today we got a lot going on this week. It's been a very busy week, and I just want to bring a glimmer of hope to the community, to the both local and abroad, to the people who are out there and they're on the front lines fighting, because I think that the motivational push is needed, right? And again, I'd like to welcome you guys. A little bit of ground rules. You know how we do. If it's your first time on the channel, go ahead and hit the like button and share and subscribe if you can. And if you want to have a comment and you want to join in, feel free to put it in the chat. And hey, your voice counts. So if you have something that you want to say, you're welcome to come on, and don't be scared. Do not be scared. Don't be shy, because we're definitely in definitely in a time of transition. We're in a time of a lot of uncertainty going on, both on the local and national level. So we're going to talk a little bit about all of that. We're also going to talk about, we're going to end up talking about the local stuff because I think that's important. Local stuff being, I want to be clear, local stuff being what's affecting our communities local, and even things that are pertinent and near and dear to me and those around me. So we'll talk about that. We'll end up talking about a little bit about my favorite op, and you guys know who that is. If not, then I'll let you guys know towards the end of the show. So stick around. Stick around. So, how's everyone doing this 10th of October? Got a quick year. We got through it, and we're looking at a early winter, like I said, I believe. But hey, we won't worry about it. If you're in Chicago, just make sure you go coat shopping right away, right? Go ahead and get those coats. let's look at the weekend review, and let's start talking about. I think the first thing that I want to go over is we'll start with a video of ICE, our folks at ICE. So I'm hearing a lot of different things about ICE and different feelings, and it's bringing a whole flurry of emotion from a whole group of different people from all sides of the coin. Some folks in the urban and black community don't want to support it. Some folks in other communities have supported it above and beyond. And the Latino community, Hispanic community have been fighting on the ground, and they've been being ostracized along with other communities. I mean, it's just not the Latino and Spanish communities, but you also see the African immigrants. There's African immigrants. There's immigrants from other places who are right here in the United States. There's a big Haitian population down in Florida. And let's not forget about the struggles that they're going through. And what about the start of the campaign with Trump and J.D. Vance when, the They're Eating Dogs campaign started, and that was down in Ohio, and about the Haitian population in Ohio, and I'm sure that they're being ostracized. As we speak, I see ICE is in Indiana, going through the Indiana, at least it's the communities that are surrounding Chicagoland, like Hammond, Indiana, East Chicago. So you see a flurry of activity from ICE, and none of it seems to be positive. So I guess on that note, we'll start on the ICE note. So you guys were you guys aware that a producer was, a WGN producer was recently grabbed up by ICE in Chicago, and for what reason? Well, we'll talk a little bit about that. But I definitely think that we're seeing a flurry of activity with no reason or rhyme coming from ICE, and just doesn't make a lot of sense. So I want to start off with a video about the producer who was violently detained during I guess it was during an interview. And she was doing what she normally does. She was doing creative content for WGN TV, which is based here in Chicago, and ended up getting scooped up. So let's talk a little bit about that, and let's show that. Bring it up.
Sir, what's your name? What's your name?
Debbie Brockman, I work for WGN. Let them know.
I got you. Yep. Debbie Browning?
Brockman,
WGN. Do you guys want to share your names too, or I'm just going to cover your face?
No, this is some bullshit.
Oh! Yep.
So yeah, that was crazy. That was Miss Debbie Brockman. She's a WGN TV producer, and looks like she was kind of grabbed up by ICE in a recent shuffle. I just I'm dumbfounded by what we're seeing out there in the communities when it comes to ICE, and I don't know. I mean, I'd definitely like to know what you guys think. Brockman was accused of assaulting federal law enforcement officers or Homeland Security official told local news, but no charges have been filed against her, and she was released from Customs and Border Protection custody this afternoon, according to a statement from WGN. But the onlookers were shouting at the agents and calling them fascists, and the officers eventually pulled up with cuffed Brockman with restraints and zip ties, and the pants had fallen down during the encounter, and it was just a big spectacle. They tossed her into an unmarked silver van with New Jersey plates, and as the officers got out of the car, according to the video that you saw, the residents and the locals were shouting Nazi FUCKS, Nazi fucks, at the agents as the vehicle peeled off. And I mean, the vehicle even wrapped into another SUV. So, this is indicative about, what we're seeing in our neighborhoods, in our cities, when ICE is just arbitrarily coming in and they're grabbing just bystanders. And so, even in some of the debates that I've seen as of lately, and I don't know what you guys have seen, but I've seen it to whereas we're seeing these ICE agents just arbitrarily go and just grab people with no reason or rhyme. And that wasn't the mandate from the Trump administration. The mandate from the Trump administration was to supposedly to approach criminal immigrants who were creating criminality. But since then, the whole assignment and the mission statement has become something else. And when you start grabbing people like this young lady she just has no reason. There's no reason or rhyme to grab this person. I mean, she's a WGN TV official, and why are we even wasting time with someone like this? So, in a statement, the Homeland Security Associate Secretary, Tricia McLaughlin, said the Border Patrol agents were conducting immigration enforcement operations when several violent agitators used their vehicles to block the agents in an effort to impede the assault, and they assaulted the federal officers. So, in fear of public safety, and the law enforcement officers used their service vehicle to strike the subject's vehicle and create an opening. Not so much what we saw. We saw the agents arbitrarily ram the back of the car, and as the agents were driving, Deborah Brockman, again, the WGN producer, who is a U.S. citizen, I must add, they said that she threw objects at the Border Patrol's car, she was placed under arrest just for that reason. So, this incident is not an isolated incident, and it reflects the growing and dangerous trend of ICE and Border Patrol and Department of Homeland Security agents and personnel just violently grabbing people. And, we're seeing this trend. We saw it earlier this week with 95th and with a apartment complex in South Shore, 95% black, but according to the 95% African American, according to the reports. ICE and immigration officials were in the capacity of looking for Tren de Lagra, the dangerous Mexican gang. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right, but my thing is that, according to the documented reports, they weren't there. So, Deborah Brockman, the GM producer, was released. But, again, we're seeing this high level of ICE activity, and I just don't think it's benefiting anyone. So, again, if you're just joining us, we are doing the weekend review, and we're just talking about things that are pertinent to hot topics that have gone on this week. And if you'd like to join in the conversation, please feel free to, come on, say hello. I'd love to have you. Um, so that's that. Debbie was released earlier this afternoon, and she seems to be doing fine. So we'll see how the saga continues. All right. It's crazy, right? So what about, let's talk a little bit about while we're at it. Let's talk a little bit about the Letitia James incident. I think it's a great segue. The U.S. attorney the Attorney General for New York, actually, Letitia James, I'll bring her picture up, was recently indicted by the Trump administration, or federal grand jury, I should say. It was backed by the Trump administration. The federal grand jury was Virginia based on charges of bank fraud and making false statements related to mortgage issues. The indictment follows public pressure from Donald Trump and the Trump administration because James was a longtime political opponent of Trump's, who had successfully sued Trump in a civil fraud case in 2022. The indictment of James continues with details of she's being charged with bank fraud and making false statements to financial institutions. The indictment alleges that she obtained favorable loan terms on a family member's. It really wasn't even hers. It was a family member's mortgage that she signed for. I believe she might have been a co-signer. Not sure about the specifics as far as that, but the definite terms were not favorable. But I mean, she didn't get a big benefit, and they're saying that she put her name on as a would-be secondary resident, which indicated it was intended for additional benefit for this rental income property. James called the accusations baseless in saying that basically framing the indictment as political retribution for the Trump trial and then the Trump indictment from early on 2 years ago, while he just prior to his election. And many people on the ground, including myself, believe that the charges are just that, a political indictment. The Trump team chose a non-tenured attorney, a prosecutor, to prosecute the case, who basically has not even been in office for 4 weeks. And the prior U.S. attorney for Virginia was recently removed because he wouldn't do what the Trump administration wanted him to do, which was prosecute James and other political foes, including the former FBI Director James Comey. So for a conviction, the prosecutors must prove that James had criminal intent. There's no criminal intent here with James, and it's going to be a long road, a high road to climb for James to be prosecuted. So as we're looking at the video, and I'm going to pull up the video, Letitia, she's standing strong, and I think rightfully speaking. So let's look a little bit about that, and we can break that down as well. I think it's worthy of our attention, but let's check it out.
2 weeks, the Justice Department has targeted a political enemy of President Trump's.
Yeah, and to get this indictment, there's quite a kerfuffle about it. New York Attorney General Letitia James is now indicted, facing a bank fraud charge.
Yeah, I mean, President Trump called for the Justice Department to act after James brought a $500 million civil fraud case against him and his family. Eyewitness News reporter Jaysha Patel live right outside of James's office in Lower Manhattan with more. Jaysha.
Charlene, Sandra, Sam, good morning. Well, this indictment comes weeks after President Trump posted on social media calling for Attorney General Pam Bondi to bring these charges against James. And now James is denying these charges. New York Attorney General Letitia James firing back after she was indicted on charges of alleged bank fraud. becoming the second Trump political opponent in a span of 2 weeks to face prosecution.
This is nothing more than a continuation of the president's desperate weaponization of our justice system.
James has been a target of the president since she brought a $500 million civil fraud case against Trump and his family.
I stand strongly behind my office's litigation against the Trump Organization. We conducted a 2-year investigation based on the facts and evidence, not politics. Judges have upheld the trial court's finding that Donald Trump, his company, and his 2 sons are liable for fraud.
The president's hand-picked U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, Lindsay Halligan, presenting the case to the grand jury just 3 weeks after Trump forced out her predecessor, Eric Siebert. Siebert and his prosecutors spent months looking into properties James owns, interviewing at least 15 people searching for evidence she committed mortgage fraud. But sources say they determined there was not enough evidence to bring charges. President Trump insisting otherwise.
It looks to me like she's very guilty of something.
The indictment of James comes after a grand jury in Virginia also indicted former FBI Director James Comey, another political opponent Trump has publicly identified for targeting. Comey pleaded not guilty on Wednesday. Now experts warn there could be more charges coming.
Seems that this is definitely just the beginning. The Department of Justice seems that it has been weaponized now.
And James has been ordered to appear in court later this month on October 24th. Live in Lower Manhattan, Jaysha Patel, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
So yeah, we are at a point where we're seeing the weaponization of folks like Letitia James and James Comey, and according to watchers of the situation who are familiar with these cases, you know, it's a provocation that's coming from the White House that really we are under the impression that, you know, it's weaponization of the criminal justice system like never before. You know, and with Letitia James and James Comey, the former director of the FBI, you know, the criminal intent has to be proven. And in both cases, the burden of proof is really, really low. I mean, the charges follow a period of public pressure from President Trump to prosecute James and other political opponents. And we're going to see those, according to well-watched onlookers. And we're going to see other folks. So, you know, the timing and circumstances surrounding the indictment is raising a concern again about the weaponization of the Department of Justice, given that the new U.S. Attorney, Lindsay Halligan, took over the investigation and secured the indictment after prosecutors deemed the evidence insufficient. So, and Halligan herself is someone who, you know, she's not an experienced or tenured prosecutor. She basically was Trump's attorney at one point on personal matters, and now she was handling the insurance, I believe, as well. No background in prosecution, especially at the level of a U.S. attorney. So definitely interesting stuff. We'll keep an eye on it, and I think Letitia James is going to be a victor. Same with James Comey. I mean, James Comey's situation more or less is, you know, a former director of the FBI who allegedly is being prosecuted for making false statements to Congress, deemed that a central witness in the probe would prove problematic and likely for them to establish their case. But they do have a witness who says that Comey had pretty much told this person to do several things, and under the scrutiny of the situation led to false allegations or lies being told to Congress. Comey's pleaded not guilty at his arraignment on Wednesday, and the indictment last month on the charges of making false statements and obstruction related to the testimony before the Senate Judiciary Committee. But the Justice Department officials have privately expressed that the case could quickly unravel, and it is unraveling as we speak under the scrutiny of a federal judge and defense lawyers. So we are seeing, you know, the odds are both of these cases, both Letitia James and James Comey, will be dropped. You know, and I think that there are a lot of crazy things going on, to your point, and thank you for chiming in, Ramona. There are a lot of things going on in the world, period. So we just have to be on the vanguard and watch, because I think at this point, we are looking at a lot of misplaced activity, a lot of misplaced zeal. So we've got to really break these things down for what they are. I'd like to go back a little bit and really talk a little bit about where we're at with the National Guard situation in Chicago, because I think it's warranted. So as many of you know, breaking news is that the Trump DOJ had recently, under the orders of Donald Trump, had recently directed the National Guard to be deployed to Chicago. And when that didn't work, Trump actually took National Guardsmen from, I believe it was Oregon, to go to Chicago or California. The case went to the appellate court, the high courts of Illinois, and Judge April Perry, the person who you see here, not a Trump administration person, but a someone who has been in place in the appellate courts of Illinois for a while. Basically, a federal judge said, that she didn't believe that the founders would never believe that it would ever come to pass that one state militia could be sent to another state for the purposes of political retribution. So she denied the case temporarily. She gave an order of protection to the state of Illinois, and now the National Guardsmen from Texas who are here have to stand down. They have been seen on the ground, but honestly, I don't know how long they will stay. If they'll go back to Texas, it's undetermined. Let's talk a little bit about that. So the National Guards were seen out at the ICE facility out in Broadview, Illinois, which is basically the most active ICE facility seen here in Illinois. And after the judge's ruling, the National Guards were absent outside of the area, and they were seen, but no activity. So I think we should go ahead and pull that up and just watch a little bit about that. And good thing for Illinois, and good thing for Kwame Raoul, who's the Illinois Attorney General, and J.B. Pritzker, the Illinois governor. I think it is a win for them to stand down against what many of us in the liberal left feel is tyranny. So maybe those people on the ground don't agree. I think that it's definitely an issue that is well worth and warranted to looking at. So we can expect Donald Trump to appeal the decision from Judge Perry, but at the same time, when you're talking about National Guards whose duty is to defend the country against foreign opponents, foreign offenders, foreign militias, foreign military, foreign threats. Why are these troops being sent in American cities is really beyond a lot of us. Let's look at a point which illustrates how these folks are being used and abused.
Appealing the ruling that blocked the president's National Guard deployment around Chicago, blocked it for 2 weeks. Another federal judge has blocked agents from using certain crowd control tactics near an ICE facility that's right outside of Chicago. That order came down after video surfaced. It was this video of a pastor being hit in the head with pepper balls while praying outside of the site. CNN's Whitney Wild is joining us now live near that ICE facility. And what is the latest here? What do we know about what this appeal means, what the judge's order means? What are you hearing?
Well, there are several outstanding questions here, Kate. The question had been, after this ruling came down, whether or not the National Guard was going to maintain their presence here while this went through appeal. And what you see here, Kate, and I'll just kind of orient you toward the building here, we do not see a single member of the National Guard outside Broadview, although over the last few days that had been visible. Right now, again, we do not see a single member of the National Guard. New this morning, Kate, this fence here has been up since September 22nd. There had been a push by city officials to bring this down. They were concerned that it would impede an emergency response. There was also concern about, the people who live here, the people who work here, these impositions that DHS has put on the people who have to live and work here every day. A judge just minutes ago ruling that this fence has to come down. Both sides have until 2 o'clock this afternoon, Central Time, to propose how that's actually going to happen. Back to this ruling on the National Guard. This is a major win for Illinois officials. Here's more from Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul.
I'd like to thank the heroes behind me who have stood up not just for the citizens of the city of Chicago, citizens of the city of Broadview, citizens of the state of Illinois, but I might add that this is an important decision not just for the state of Illinois, but for the entire country.
Kate, right now we will have to see what happens with the appeal, what the timeline for that looks like. I want to point out what the judge said during this hearing yesterday as she was questioning quite aggressively the Department of Justice. And what she said was that she felt like the chemical agents that were deployed against protesters and members of the press were indiscriminate. They appeared arbitrary. And then finally, she said, there is just nothing to prove that there is actually a rebellion inside the United States. These were, basically the core reasons that she decided that the National Guard would fall under this temporary restraining order. And she was issuing, again, this partial ruling that gives a major win to Illinois leaders here, Kate.
And also, Whitney, quite something to see the Attorney General there becoming overcome with emotion as they were talking about this and the legal fight ahead. That's quite something. It's good to see you, Whitney. Thank you so much for being there.
Never. And I do believe that Kwame Raoul again and J.B. Pritzker, the Illinois governor, are making a great point when it comes to what is needed for our state and for our city and even in other communities. I mean, let's be reminded that Chicago is not the only city who has seen National Guard troops. California and Governor Gavin Newsom, and they've been fighting tooth and nail to eliminate what they see as a misuse of not only these troops, but a misuse of the American government and policy, violations of people's constitutional rights. So these ongoing legal challenges are the latest in a series of legal challenges for the Trump administration's efforts to deploy troops to what many deem as Democratic-led cities. Democratic-led cities, the Trump administration has filed a notice of appeal, obviously, in the Illinois case. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker praised the decision from the judge, saying that Donald Trump is not a king, and his administration is not above the law. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson also welcomed the ruling, asserting that there was no rebellion. I definitely want to, for purposes of illustration, I think we should look at the states in order of danger in 2025. So let's look at this chart. This chart illustrates the 10 cities with the highest crime rates. So Memphis is number one with the violent crime rate of 25.2, property crime rate of 55.4. Detroit, Michigan would be 20.3 and 44.8. St. Louis, Missouri, 14.8, 54.4. Baltimore, Maryland, 15.5 and 32.8. Cleveland, followed by Cleveland, Birmingham, New Orleans, Little Rock, Kansas City, and Milwaukee. Now, I can say for a fact that out of the states which we've seen three. Let's see, 1, 2. Memphis, we've seen Maryland. I believe that's it. The Tennessee delegation actually welcomed the National Guard. So Tennessee is number one on the list as far as violent crime, and rightfully so. And National Guards have been deployed there, but it's been quiet. So we haven't seen a lot of activity since. And, a lot of people are wondering why. Why has it been so quiet? But, sending National Guard to relatively Democratic-led cities is a problem for a lot of folks who are on watchdog organizations, and there'll be more illegal challenges as the days go on. So we'll keep that in mind, and we'll keep watching. But recognize and realize that this is political theater at its best, and Memphis, Detroit, and St. Louis, at least, with these high violent crime rates and property crime rates. They should be, if this system was just and it was right and it was being done right, hypothetically, then you would see National Guards in these cities. But we haven't, so there it is. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about it? Share, and thank you for continuing to watch this. I think it's ongoing news. I think it's worthy of our attention, but we also have to be cognitive of the who's, what's, when, where's, and how's, right? So let's talk a little bit about the ongoing situation on the ground with Chicago and not just Chicago. Let's drill it down a little bit, and let's just talk about violent crime from a Chicago standpoint. So Chicago has seen violent crime over the course of the last 10 years, both from an internal and external factors. But the murder ratio has really dropped. And I mean, if we look at homicides in Chicago, how does it compare? Well, the information that's released daily by the city of Chicago, and we have the uniform crime statistics by the FBI, says the homicide figures don't include unresolved murders, just so you know, or killings that occurred in self-defense, show that the number of people so far slain in 2025 is 331, I believe, as of I think it gives highlight to where we're at here in Chicago. So let me see if I can enlarge this chart. So as you see, the number of homicides so far in 2025 is 331. That's 120 fewer people killed when compared to physical 2024. The Austin neighborhood on the south side of Chicago has recorded the most homicides so far, which would be 40 homicides, where each homicide that's occurred so far is questionable. But I mean, the Chicago police are trying to maintain the Chicago homicides victim data as best as they can. And most of the homicide victims in Chicago died as a result of gunshot wounds. So think about that as well, because they're very important. So, the homicides include killings that occurred or killings that are unresolved. So, they're a little bit jaded, but we can look and we can say that there has been a reduction over prior years, and I definitely believe that. I'd like to see the Trump administration and Trump DOJ just emphasize more cities that are in the top 10 murder capitals of the world more adequately. And if he's going to give federal guard guidance and protection, let's do it in those cities. It's fair, right? It's fair. So a little bit about the Trump DOJ while we're speaking about it. Pam Bundy, who's the Attorney General, was just elected or just placed in February 2025. Criticisms regarding weaponization of the Justice Department have emerged from all sides, from all spectrums of the aisle, from watchdog organizations to their political opponents, obviously the Democratic Party. Trump and Bundy leveling the accusation against the previous administration, and Democrats accusing the new administration of engaging in the same behavior. Are they engaging in the same behavior? I don't believe it's the same thing. The accusations of weaponization that was against the Biden administration, you're talking about weaponization against Donald Trump, who, remember, he was charged by grand juries. Grand juries charged this gentleman in multiple cases. In every case, he was found guilty. So I can't say that I'm seeing a weaponization by the prior administration, but I am seeing a weaponization by the Trump administration. And during the 2025 to January confirmation hearings, Bundy promised to end the weaponization of the Justice Department, accusing them and the previous administration of using law enforcement against Trump and his allies. So, we know that Trump has been making similar allegations on Truth Social. We get it. But since November 2024, the DOJ has been weaponized against me, he said, and other Republicans, adding, not anymore. So I guess the not anymore means that he's going to turn it around and he's going to do this thing that he's accusing the Democrats of doing. He's going to weaponize the DOJ. And that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing that trend. So there are concerns about Bundy's conduct, which have primarily been raised during her appearances before the Senate Judiciary Committee and in recent DOJ actions, and accusations by Democratic targeting political opponents, saying that Democrats are, very unhappy with Miss Bundy, and not just that, but, other policies that she doesn't seem to be acting as a non-biased legal entity or the Attorney General, as the Attorney General should, but she's acting as a political arm of Donald Trump. So, what's your thoughts? I'd like to know what you guys think out there in reference to the politicization of the DOJ, the charging of Letitia James, Comey, and some of the other political pundits. I think it's very important that we notate that, there is a likelihood that politicization of the DOJ is going on, right? So, with that being said, let's talk a little bit about this video, and I wanted to share a recent video. You folks who are on the ground know that I have had a personal struggle against a person who I like to call an op. I like to call somebody who acts outside of public interest on a routine basis, and he's been in the Southland of Chicago. He calls himself a prominent social justice, a prominent advocate, and for me, I'm not seeing advocate. I'm channeling agent of chaos. I'm channeling agent of destruction. I'm trying chaos agent, and that's what we're seeing. And the level of discontent with this person, and the level of concern is growing. This person in the past has been someone who literally has definitely diagnosed, certified psychological issues, and he does consider himself to be a social justice activist. For what reason? I don't know what proves it. I have no idea, but a lot of folks in the community have a long list of concerns about this gentleman. This event with Mr. Brown, his name is Jedediah Brown, was an event where he actually had a failed suicide attempt, and some folks question the aspect of the suicide attempt, meaning that according to news reports, this person went on the expressways of Chicago, and the suicide attempt, was fake. It was fake, to say the least. So Jedediah Brown is a Chicago-based activist and supposedly a minister. Not little known about his advocacy against gun violence and involved in protest and minor in politics. But the thing that he gained some national recognition was for the protest that we organized against Donald Trump in 2016. When I say we, it was a coalition of groups, a group of coalitions on the ground who organized. And basically, Brown jumped up on stage and he challenged Donald Trump to, was it a political stunt? Was it something that was done in sincerity? Well, probably not. A lot of people know this gentleman from the confrontations in Dalton, Illinois, where he was arrested in July 2024 after a heated confrontation with greater known Dalton trustee and social justice activist Andrew Holmes over sexual assault allegations. A case that seems to have been resolved, but then not sure. He was later charged with resisting arrest and he received a restraining order. And some sources claim he was illegally arrested, though no charges were ultimately filed. So, also he's actually had problems in Flint, Michigan, while conducting quote-unquote alleged advocacy issues related to Flint against the local government, supposed corruption, whereas basically he took a coffin to the Mayor Neely of Flint, Michigan, and he took a coffin to Mayor Neely's house. And the idea of someone taking a coffin to anyone's house seems to be a little bit. And not only is it a reach, but it's something that, Mayor Neely did not take too well, and his wife did not take too well, and the police were called and they agreed, and Brown was prosecuted on, I believe, 3 counts. So, there is an ongoing legal dispute that exists between Brown and Flint, Michigan, stemming from the protest. And again, Brown was arrested for that. On May 6th, when the protest happened and outside of Neely's home, again, there was a coffin that was used, and it was supposed to draw attention to a vacant city council seat. Following the protest, I think it was 3 counts or 2 counts of disorderly conduct is what he was arrested for. So, and rightfully speaking, Mayor Neely and his team, they don't need these types of actions coming from someone who is a known provocateur, to say the least. If you're just joining, we're doing a weekly recap. Hello, Status Quo, Ramona, all the folks out there in chat world who joined in. So we're talking a little bit about the week's activities. So I wanted to draw a contrast to the ongoing struggle in Thorne Township and in the Southland against this individual. We call him an agent of chaos. He's very much that. He's known. His name is Jedediah Brown. And the picture and the graphic that you see is from February 2017 when Brown had a mental health crisis, and something that I don't make light of. Something that I am not in the business of snubbing anyone down to say that, suicide is a very real thing. But this is where he live streamed the suicide attempt on Facebook from his car near Chicago's Lake Michigan. It was actually, I believe it was on Lakeshore Drive. And he cited the death of a family member and the trauma of activism as contributing factors. The SWAT team intervened and Brown was taken into custody. According to the news reports, the bullet had no guns in it. So, the seriousness of the incident there's a lot of doubt, just to say the least. So with that in mind, I wanted to bring you to, and with that in mind, I wanted to bring you to the incident on July 14th, when Brown attacked myself, and my daughter, who was there as a onlooker, and a group of a group of activists were attacked in this incident, and it's been well notated. The videos have been viewed and gone viral over 1 million times. So we want to, and the reason why it's very important is because I'm actually leading the point of where we're going from here. So I just wanted to show a little bit about. I wanted to show a little bit about that because we're going to draw a parallel to a more recent event. So just to highlight those who are not familiar. So this is Ryan. Ryan was also attacked on July 14th. Ryan Simwelski, who's an activist based out of Harvey, Illinois. And for those who didn't see the speech that I made, basically we were watching, we were monitoring to make sure homeless squatters were not abused in Harvey, Illinois. So this is the speech that I made right after I made one during the City Council Harvey event and afterwards. And I believe this is the reason why the altercation happened.
Obsessed with me, huh? Okay.
Stand by while we are playing Brian's video. Let's see if Ryan's video will play. Let's see.
Don't want it. There we go.
We'll back you in.
I mean,
our resources at the very least, at the very, very least.
Here's one.
I don't want to take that away, but there's a lot of issues, including the finances that are being.
So again, I'm gonna just.
Let's go. Let's move
guys,
forward.
please come to the meetings. Please speak up. Thank you again for following, because this is the kind of stuff that we do not want this in our community. And this is the kind of man that Jedediah is supporting, and Mayor Clark is sending protection for him as he is harassing us in our own community.
So this gentleman is Raheem Sharks.
Yeah, see if you guys can see anything.
So these are the houses that Jedediah was supposedly working. Let me stop. These are the houses, and we've seen this multiple times. A lot of influencers have shared it. So the gentleman in the blue shirt or the white shirt and the blue hat is Raheem Sharks. So I'm going to show a recent video of Raheem Sharks, but a little bit about the incident that happened. And then let's see.
Yeah, I'm recording. What happened? Yeah, because it happened so fast.
And then and a big dude, the heavyset dude, pushed me, and another dude.
Okay, let's go to this part. I think.
Gargus, call the cops.
This is when the physical altercation started.
I walked down there, he away.
He says he's working on the block. So this is Jedediah and Raheem Sharks. So the end result was, this is the end result. Let's go back and let's look at the.
That happens when Jay comes to town. You see why we have the orders?
So like I said, this video had been shown multiple times. This is the part which I wanted to highlight. I wanted to highlight Sharks ran from the police like 2, 3, 4 times. And this is the first time.
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm live.
Everybody, this guy too. All of it. I want them all. All of them.
Call it back up. He like going to jail. But this shit go, come on out, everybody.
Call the police right now.
Bitch ass nigga. No, your ass full. Your ass.
all them.
You're fat
Arrest all
ass
of
too.
them. Just back up.
Do I need to call 911 first? Dad.
Him
Dad.
too.
Dad, what are you doing?
No.
Everything is recorded. Over here.
Him too. No.
Hey, where you going?
He can't. She leaving the scene.
You cannot leave the scene.
They leaving the scene.
So this is
Get it, Ryan. You got
So this is Raheem Sharks and Alicia Spikes leaving the scene. According to Jedediah, the case was dismissed. We definitely are looking for information to see if that case was dismissed, because we are definitely addressing that in the days and weeks ahead. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because I just want to draw a parallel into what I'm getting ready to show you. So stand by, guys. It's a method to my madness, but check it out. Now this is Raheem Sharks after being pulled out of the car with the police, who drew their guns down after they tried to flee the scene. So you can see.
Sure. I mean, they got under control. They got a lot of cops coming, so we'll be safe. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get a little closer.
So the one who's screaming right now, saying my hand is broke, that's Raheem Sharks. He's saying my hand is broke. Okay, so that's Raheem. So let me show you guys. I just want to show you guys. Give me 1 second. This is what we're dealing with, and we are dealing with this effectively, but give me 1 second. So let me show you guys this person is Raheem Sharks, and this person has a long history of offenses, criminal offenses. He has a long criminal record, basically from assaulting police officers to gun charges to obstructing charges. And, from what we're seeing, let's just look at the criminal record, and we can definitely take it from there. Let's just look at the criminal record. So as you can see, I'm highlighting. Let's see if I can pull it up. Give me 1 second. There we are. Let's see if I can make it larger. There we go. So as you can see, arrested June 5th, 2014 at 7:14 p.m. Released June 6th. Charge assaulting a police officer, assault, aggravated assault, police sheriff employee, initial gun offender registration, resisting and obstructing officer. This looks like an assault on a police officer. This charge right here was a warrant that was issued on Sharks. This charge was from August 31st of 2017. It was a weapons charge, felony possession of a weapon in second degree. This right here was a disorderly conduct, failed to cease conduct likely to provoke. We've got several others, including this one? No. Let's see. I believe we have a few more, including a murder charge from 2019. So just to illustrate the point, this person has a very pronounced criminal history. And this person is closely related to Jedediah, allegedly his bodyguard. I believe that there might be even some relation. But the reason why I'm even showing this and highlighting this is what I'm getting ready to show you guys ahead. And so you can see what it is. And if you're just joining, we're doing the weekly recap. So we're talking a little bit about this. So Raheem was recently arrested in Dalton, Illinois. Let me show you the charge. And this was after the July 14th incident. So this was knowingly, it was 8/17 of 2025. Knowingly made physical contact of an insulting nature with Anthony Rushing Jr. In that he struck Anthony Rushing Jr. with a BB gun. Also struck Anthony with a closed fist about his face and his body. So I initially pulled this report from the court documents, and then I definitely showed it to some people, and I think that it's worth notating that the shenanigans that keep going on with these offenders, and these guys are legitimate criminal offenders. And like you said, TK, with gang mentality, this Mr. Brown, and yeah, he's not only just mean and of a venom nature, but I mean, he's to Ramona's point, he's not an advocate. He's a negative person, and he lies and he creates chaos amongst the people and individuals. And he's not above fighting and offending women, children. So samefully suited with a lot of the folks in this group, INA, Investigate and Advocate. It's a ragtag group that they put together. But the dangerousness and the level of dangerousness is a concern with folks like Raheem Sharks. So without that, I just wanted you guys to pay a little bit of attention to that particular issue, because where we're going from here is I just wanted to show you a recent video, and I want to congratulate Miss Grace Levi for actually doing the research and FOIA-ing this after she was given the information. She definitely is a trooper, because she actually FOIA'd this information, and very impressive. And this was a recent live that she shared, so she definitely did it. So this is the attack that I told you about with Raheem Sharks outside of the White Castle is what it was in Dalton, Illinois. So let's watch that video. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna pull up that video, and I'm gonna show you the report is what I just showed you, but here's the actual video.
You got some more cases here. Indiana versus Raheem. He has some cases in Indiana. Really beat somebody with a BB gun. Trying to talk really beat somebody with a BB gun. Now, I will have to say to the Dalton police, you did a great job, especially highlighting that this gentleman did some stupid shit. Any other officers probably would have really beat them down or possibly tasered them. They did practice a lot of regards, and we're just gonna watch this together. So, thank you for being here, guys. I appreciate you. Let's play this. Y'all know I'm trolling, right? I'm trolling on everybody. This is here for information, educational purpose. Toughen up. You probably don't like the person giving the message, but I'm putting in the work like I always do.
Guys,
I'm a mean girl.
If you please follow Grace Levi, please.
Finish and get up off of this. We got 13 more minutes. We're going to watch this video together, and we're going to watch Mr. Sharks get locked up and him lie to the police and him have a BB gun in the back of his shirt, and the police don't blow his brains off. This is what we got to deal with in the black community. The BS. The BS. So this is them pursuing to the restaurant. Oh, this is because it's a fight. Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna shut up now. I love you, Kevin. I had a boyfriend named Kevin. I had 3 boyfriends named Kevin. I love Kevins.
What's going on? Start fighting, nigga. Ain't got no gun. Quit playing. What you talking about, man? I'll beat your ass.
Now, I believe the tall guy is Mr. Sharks, the tall one.
Down on the ground. Down on the ground. Get down on the ground.
Not listening to the police.
You reach for anything, I'm gonna pop you. Get down on the ground. Get down on the ground. No, police. Get down on the ground. You don't have to shoot me, bro. Get down on the ground.
Look at him.
Y'all remember Raheem is he's no stranger to federal penitentiary, the Cook County DLC. He's listening to a police means nothing to him. So, you can see it in his actions, even on the July 14th incident. But
and somebody in there like he got a gun in the back. Now y'all gotta watch this because there's a lot of dysfunction that happened in this video, y'all. I'm like, yo, we so numb in the black community. I want y'all to peep the whole scene. Is this a little wild? Now you see the girl in the back. Watch the people in the back. They just ordering. The officer have a live weapon here. This shit is wild. It blew me when I said, this girl, everybody came in there just doing their regular thing because this is the stuff that happened in our community so much. It's sad. It's really sad.
The fucking ground. Get down. Get down. Get down. Get down. I'm not going to jail. Nobody's saying anybody's going to jail. We got 15 guys here.
So I believe it was an employee that he assaulted.
You ain't even got to worry about that, bro. I'm telling you, you don't have to worry about that. That's a BB gun. You don't have to worry about that. That's a BB gun. Good way to get your ass fucking blasted.
This officer, I gotta give it to you. You said the right thing. I can't even be mad at you. Good way to get blasted. You a grown man with a BB gun trying to beat somebody with a BB gun or whatever you doing.
So he pistol whipped someone, and someone is the security guard with a BB gun, and then tried to strike him. So I believe that what the intent was that he wanted the security guard to think that the BB gun was a real shotgun. So when, basically he pistol whipped him when the police, were there and they rolled up. But here, let's go ahead.
This is what we dealing with. This way, thank God they had regards because people knew he had a gun on him or something, but they didn't know that it was a BB gun.
Well, kill me.
You see what we got to deal with?
True criminal mentality. These are criminals, y'all.
You already fucking lied your ass off. You already lied your ass off.
So you can see the shotgun sticking out the pants.
Look, everybody's still eating their food. Ordering their food like nothing going on.
I'm telling you, call Sergeant.
He said call Sergeant who? That's his uncle? Who his uncle? You see what they got going on? The dude with the BB gun said call Sergeant something. That's his uncle. We're going to be listening to that over and over.
Behind the counter and beat us up, man. That's a goddamn lie. They ain't coming behind the counter? So they nobody's coming behind the counter. Talk them up for now. We're taking everybody to the station. Take them all. Watch the camera again. Just watch the camera, sir. And you want he work here? Yeah, they came from behind the counter. He did that shit. No, hey, bro, don't do whatever. They came from behind the counter. He respects me. Take him to the counter. He respects me. Take him. That's what I'm saying. I ain't gonna do nothing, but they came from behind the counter.
If y'all don't know who this is Raheem Sharks. This is the gentleman that was involved in the altercation with Jedediah. When Jedediah jumped Amir on July 14th. This is the guy.
All right, that's all I need to know. I'm respectful because you're good for me. Here's what I need you to do for now is chill out till we get to the stage.
I don't think that guy was involved. Haven't seen him before.
And the guy that's the employee in there, he needs to go so we can take them all and sort it at the station. Because you respect me like I respect you. You feel me? We're talking about at the station. I'm not talking to the ring.
He said, look, Kevin said, I try to give you a chance. I just read your last thing. You said you try to give me a chance. I tried to give y'all a chance out there, but y'all nasty and fickle. Like I said, you remember you thought you could control me? No, you can't. Just get this work. And don't never comment on my video again, Kevin. Okay? I'm nasty to those who are nasty to me. Y'all thought that I was going to kiss y'all butt all this time. Y'all thought that I was going to bow down to these fickle, disgusting people in the audience who has bad attitude, who always talk about people, who have no respect for humanity. You thought I was going to bow down to you? You thought? Kevin, I just saw I saw that time. I tried. Go about your business. I'm not about to play with y'all.
And with him. We put him in there with him.
Anyway, this is him getting arrested. I'm sorry, I just had to add that because this is what I want. I want to flush the swamp. I want everybody who is fake, fickle, troublesome, don't know me and think that they know me and want to judge me to not come on my page at all. You're not welcome. If you want to come and see the work that I put out, because you know I put it out good, just watch and be quiet. But never again would I let you fake people disrespect me. Remember that. I'm like, oh, you're nasty. Oh, no, I'm nasty to you. Remember that.
This employee in here, he came from behind the counter, he got his shirt off and shit.
So now they're about to get the story from the White Castle workers because Raheem lied and he tried to get out of his situation by saying, call my uncle.
Let me fast forward a little bit.
I'm really like, bro, we have talking to them over there too. They just talking crazy about y'all. Okay, so you got to talking to them crazy. I told bro, you don't got to do all the big dog stuff. You know, so they was telling him to get a refund and anything. He was talking about, well, they gonna give my food. They gonna do. I said, bro, we can't have all that big dog stuff coming up in here. Okay. So. And he was like, what? I said, bro, you heard what I said. You can't be disrespecting the employees up there. Okay. He commenced to come up there talking about something. What? Like he just went back to the car and grabbed something. What? So I told him, I'm like, that's just person like that? Yeah. I got phone on him. He walked in and he walked past and he went to the... That was really good. That was really good. He grabbed his gun. He grabbed his gun over there. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, is that why the worker came out? Yeah. Okay.
That's why they came out, because they tried to jump the security guard. Now we get a better idea of what happened. Pulling the same old with a BB gun. Look, this can't get better.
We got the one big guy and the one skinny guy.
So let me stop that, guys. So now you see what actually happened. So basically they tried to jump the security guard in this White Castle. And for those who don't know, this is in Dalton, Illinois. It's right off of Sibley and Lincoln. It's on a major intersection right there in Dalton. And Raheem hid the BB gun down his pants. Now, note, this is one last thing I want you guys to note. He was prosecuted for that, or he's currently being prosecuted for that. But check this out. This is what I want to show you guys, dude.
Security guard tried to jump him, allegedly. And that's why the workers came out of the White Castle to take up for the security guard. So we learned a little bit more. But this is the same tactic. Immature adults terrorizing the community and thinking they can get away with it, and he lies to the police, then talk about shoot me, and then say call my family. He probably was saying call Jedediah.
So does that? So guys, does this look familiar? So notate this. This is actually Jedediah's truck. Supposedly this INA truck with these Texas license plates VMR 8570. And this is that Yukon that they drive around that they've created a lot of crimes in. So this is the same truck that was on the scene on July 14th. And just show a little bit more of that. And yeah, I think we get the point. Hold on.
Whoop! Whoop! Who places that? Whoop! That's the sound of the beast. I'm just gonna leave that right there. That's the sound of the police. Who lives in Texas? Oh, is this like the same vehicle that possibly ran away from the police the last incident on July 14th? Hold up. Wait, see, this Jedediah, alleged chauffeur, running lots, no license. I'm saying allegedly, but it's looking like something right here. We getting to the end. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the people who could deal with me. Thank you for the people who love the fact that I don't kiss ass.
So we'll stop right there. And now let's go back to July 14th. I just wanted to let's stop that and then let's pull it up on July 14th, and just for the purposes of illustration. So here's the truck again in effect. There it is.
Who's that? Who is that?
No, I'm sorry. Here it is. That's not it. Here it is.
My phone died. My phone died.
I got it.
Same truck.
Yeah, we're still live.
Where you at?
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm live.
Same truck, y'all. Right there. And that's Raheem.
Hey, Raheem, don't fight. Don't fight. Don't fight. It's close to one. He got it. It's
That's another.
Okay.
So there you go, y'all. There you go. You can see the parallels that these criminals, they're not stopping, y'all. They are continuing on with what they're doing, and it's not slowing down. So it's our hope that, with our efforts, we can slow these criminals down. We can slow them down from offending the community. Again, Mr. Brown has said he is not above fighting men, women, children, anybody who he feels like has offended him. This particular person is dangerous, and he does not need to be on the streets. As we are working towards resolution, we're working towards getting this hardened criminal pulled off the streets. And at best, I believe we are slowing these people down, but we don't want to second guess these people because they are dangerous in a lot of ways. We have to shut them down. There's no two ways about it. So, and shout out to Grace Levi for getting the information. Yes, these criminals are dangerous. They are really dangerous. Some of the women, to your point, are dangerous that associate themselves with Jedediah. Let's give a shout out to Grace Levi for pulling up that video and forwarding that information. So if you did, just let's follow Grace. I think she's doing a lot of great work and around the board and around the community. Next week we'll be back on Monday night. We'll be back on the Samaj case. So I think it's very important. So Grace Levi, and thank you for that and good work. So I just wanted to, if for those who are going to watch and just joining in, we're just doing weekly highlights, and this particular person is the person who did a mob action on July 14th against myself, my daughter, and a lot of individuals. And maybe I can just show a little bit about that as well. And he also had a situation to where he threatened and beat up a business owner in Harvey by the name of Hassan. Maybe I can let's see if I can show a little bit about that, the harassment of Hassan. So I think it's important to draw that contrast. Let's see if I can pull it up. Okay, here we go. Here we go. And let me just show that because I think it's important. Let's show that piece.
Tell who's Spanish or not. But I'm going to take a whole glass of shut up just to highlight. This is what goes on in the black community. This is what we have to do.
There's Jedediah, there's Raheem.
This truth to facts. Thank you for being here with me. Hit the like button. I'm trying to get back in the algorithm when it comes to this content. It is what it is. I'm just going to put truth to power. We'll be moving on. Be doing the morning show in the morning. But here we go. Hassan speaks. Let's put this up. Let's put the facts. Look at this criminal right here. Look. That's Raheem Sharks. This is the one we want. We telling on you tonight, Raheem. You want to be a thug, you want to be an activist, whatever you want to be, you're going to be exposed. So this man with the blue is working with the mayor. And the man with the blue is working with the criminal who are going to show you his background and his arrest that he just had in Dalton. Okay? Now, if y'all want to see all of this right here, you guys are going to have to go on each one of these content creators' page and check it out. I'm just doing a general synopsis. So, if I have my new audience come through, they can kind of see what's going on, see what I be kind of hinting to them, the stress that I went through. Separation is the best. This right here, you see the little Spanish lady getting arrested. She's getting arrested because Raheem stepped to her and, just basically started some nonsense. And he said he wanted to get her arrested for assault because she kind of like swung his leg. Mind you, when the officer said, "Can I see your ID?" the motherfucker didn't show it. But then they wanted to verify that she was receiving some type of ticket or something. Excuse my language. We have this in this video that he will not show his ID. And I understand why, because he probably had active warrants. Okay, it's so bad that Mr. Hassan, the owner, has to walk around with his whole layouts of his business. That's trifling. Black community, Democrat. This is some bullshit. Don't blame us. Don't blame us. Blame the system. This should not be happening.
To the police chief, which he just took it and ignored it, as if he doesn't care. Okay, yes.
Now, wait, what's happening? And why are they arresting your worker?
This is what the problem is. They come here, the gangsters come here, abuse us, and my employees get arrested, and or I get arrested, or I get harassed.
What in the
This is what the Harvey is doing to you. Okay?
Wow.
This is nothing.
I don't know about that, Kevin Smith. You're going to have to show me some proof. That's not Hassan doing it. That's two different nationalities. Hassan looked Middle Eastern.
Small. If they can do this to me, then you can imagine they will run you over.
So let me get this straight. So Jed trespasses on your private property. He and his thugs harass one of your workers, and Harvey police, look at this everybody, and please share. Harvey police just arrested the worker. You cannot make this stuff up.
No, you can't, Ryan.
How we need help, we need oversight, and we need to stop the corruption. This is what we're talking about. And Jed is making.
So let me move forward.
We're almost done. Thank you for being here with Grace Levi. Let me cook a little bit, get a little bit.
And Grace did a great job, y'all.
And to continue to let the crooks know that it ain't over. I'm still putting pressure. Just doing it guerrilla warfare style. Let's go.
With my own written explanation of what is missing in the report, he refused to take it. So we mail it. So if you mail it, he can deny that he received it.
So he went to change it and amend it. We had the video where Jedediah and these men ran up on him And I believe that was this day. This was this day. Because it was right here. Right here. Here we go. If Ryan did not happen to just come here to check on his police report, these guys would have been beating on, I believe, or harassing, chasing, accosting, doing something to Hassan this day. This was the day where Hassan tried to amend his complaint, and they said you gotta mail it in. Now you gonna keep blaming the black people for this? For our disparities? When we literally set up just like y'all. Guys, just get a little bit more trinkets on the Republican side. Big baby. So this is Raheem. This other guy, we're going to keep his eye on him. We're going to keep an eye on him. We also going to follow up with another gentleman, Mr. Stryker. That is the heavyset guy. We're not going to talk about Mr. Stryker today, but we will be talking about him. So I think you guys got a good idea of what's going on. Shout out to Cook County CEO. Shout out to Ryan and Million with Opinion. These was the clips that we were showing you. And now, this is what we about to do.
So we're going to stop right there and give me 1 second. And, I definitely want to welcome Grace. So yeah, Grace, you did a great job, and I did tell everyone. So y'all, shout out to Grace for FOIAing that video, and I think it was very necessary that we keep drawing the contrast and showing these people. This is Grace Levi's YouTube, y'all. So please follow her work. She's continuously building. I'm very thankful for the work that she's doing, and I see her as a jewel in our community, and definitely a queen. So thank you, Queen Grace, for everything that you're doing. Follow her, please. She's doing a lot of great things, a lot of valuable work. So let's not be deceived, and we won't allow temporary setbacks or maybe disagreements to stop, because I think that there's room for everybody. We want these offenders to be shut down. That's what we want. And so with that being said, not only is Jedediah Brown in some of these INA crews, I mean, there's a lot of offenses going on. There's, potential allegations of being sex offenders. There's allegations of criminal activity. There are not even allegations, but, we have confirmed criminal history here. We have a lot of things. This gentleman, Brown, Doodoo Brown, whatever you want to call him, Jedediah, I am, working very, very hard to get this person off of our streets, to make sure that he stands in a court of justice. And basically it's long overdue. Hopefully the DOC, the Department of Corrections, can do what they should have done a long time ago. But even with that is concerned, the situation with July 14th, which they personally attacked myself, my daughter, and Ryan, and assaulted Beth McBride, that incident not only is a tragic incident, but it's going to be a day of reckoning for them. And I'm going to make sure of that, unprovoked, to say the least. There was no self-defense going on. There was no, harassment or anything. So, which is what he's trying to claim, which, if you've been watching, those claims have all fallen by the wayside. And this is a typical thing with Jedediah. So, we are typically, he's typically petitioning the courts to terminate any cases that he feels like will put him in a certain light, or that he'll get a judgment against him. But we're going to win this case. We're going to win the judgment against him, and we're going to perform a successful completion of legal obligations, not only to protect us, but to protect the community from these offenders. We're not going to slow down. People like Raheem Sharks needs to be institutionalized. He needs to be in jail. We're going to make sure that he gets shut down. And, I appreciate the work of folks who are on the ground. LNC, Grace Levi, I love you, Queen. Ramona, Minion, conscious. The list goes on and on. I mean, even, Kevin Smith, even some of the people who are out there, we just want to make sure that, status quo, we just want to make sure that we're not letting up and keeping our eyes on the prize. And that's what we're going to do. These offenders will be shut down. There's no reason for this person to be walking on the streets. He's shown that he is a threat and a menace to society. Jedediah has shown and proven that he's an agent of chaos. We got to get these people off the streets, and from my personal struggle, I will not rest until I see the completion of that happening, either in the court of law or in civil litigation, but we're going to shut them down. And that's what we intend to do without a doubt. There's no fear. There's not one bit of hesitation. We know the mission. We know what's going to be done, and we will complete it. It may take a small minute. It may take a few weeks. It may take a few more weeks. But here's the thing. We're going to serve. We're going to make sure justice serves. So basically these criminal offenders don't hurt anyone. What's going to happen to the next person the next time? What's going to happen to, the senior who's been assaulted? Unless these people are shut down for their violations, and it's growing. You see the dangerousness of these people. You see Jedediah growing more unhinged as the days go on. And there is an attempt to second guess or to sideswipe, but if you just listen to him, you can see him falling apart and unraveling. And that's why, again, we got to get these people off the streets. They have to be institutionalized. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. People like Raheem Sharks, who's no threat, or excuse me, police don't scare him, as you saw in that video. So let's continue doing the work. Let's continue doing what we're supposed to do. And I think with people like Grace and you guys continuously sharing the information and the wealth of knowledge, we're going to accomplish our goal. Thank you, Grace. You're welcome. Mr. Sharks is a monster and a menace to society. Yes. And, these criminals are real criminals, so shout out to you, shout out to TK, shout out to Status, everyone who's joined. And absolutely, we're going to continue the momentum. We won't stop. As a matter of fact, I have court next week with Raheem, and we will not let up. This particular case with Raheem has been continued. And I'll put the court dates out that you guys can watch. Next week, also, Jedediah Brown has court in Flint, Michigan. I believe it's the 16th. He also has, so we'll continue to watch out for those dates as well. And listen, y'all, I just want to thank y'all for y'all commitment to justice. And let's continue to protect the community. We're not slowing down. We're going to continue going with motivation. We're going to continue going with determination, and we will shut these offenders down. And from the standpoint of just shutting them down, we're going to remove them from hurting people or attempting to hurt people, because I don't know if the person next time will be so lucky. So, there is not just an obligation, but it's my mission and my duty to complete what I started 10 years ago. All right. So let me see. I'm gonna take 3 questions. I'm gonna take 3 questions. He also said he had someone in law enforcement in his family. We have to look into that. And you know what? If that is the case, I don't know if they can help him, especially in the Cook County DOJ. But for us doing what we're doing, we are filing against this person and highlighting him. And again, these people are unraveling, Grace and community, family. These people are unraveling as we speak. That's what we want to see. We want to see the dishevelment. We want to see Jedediah Brown in court trying to plead a case pro se and has no idea or inkling of what he's talking about. We want to see these things, and we're going to see them. we're going to see justice, and we're going to prevent them from hurting people. This person is a criminal. This person needs to be institutionalized. We won't stop until we have that goal. So I do want to say, if there's any last minute comments, I'll wait 2 minutes. If you guys have anything else you want to say, or anything else to add, then please feel free. This is the end of the week, and it's been a crazy week, y'all. It's definitely been a crazy week, but we definitely need to say it. And even if it's in another state, we will complete the job of making sure these people are put in a system to where they can no longer be a threat to anyone. So, y'all could take that to the bank. Y'all could bank on it, stick it to the wall if you want to, but, and look at it every day when you wake up on the mission board, because that's what's going on. So I'm adamant about that, and y'all gonna see it happen. Hello, Erica. Hello, how are you? Just wanted to share, and thank you for joining us, Erica. Just wanted to share a little bit about some of the offenders that we're seeing. These particular offenders are criminal offenders, and they were arrested for the July 14th mob action out of Harvey, Illinois. So this particular person, again, is no stranger to criminal activity. Let's show the other people. So, and the thing is, Mr. Brown, Jedediah Brown, what is his current focus? Well, his current focus is anything that he feels like is going to keep his name out there and get him attention. From criticizing Alderman Colby Chapman to being a proxy of one of the worst mayors in the United States of America, and that's Christopher Clark, a person who is not above controversy himself, and basically puts himself in the line of fire by allowing people like Jedediah to go in and harass and beat business owners. We've got to be able to get these people off the streets, and we cannot second guess these people. So I'd like to see, as I've called for in the past, stay on them. If you see a post that he's made, make sure that post does not go unchecked. If you guys see him say something, in reference to harassment or cyber stalking or anything like that, send me an email at Amir Shakur Speaks at gmail.com, and I'm on it, and we'll continue to refer him to federal authorities. We'll continue to refer him to local authorities, and we'll definitely continue to refer him to the courts of law. And I'm looking for the lawsuit. I'm looking for the lawsuit because we've already filed a $30,000 case in the Cook County Circuit Court, but I'm waiting on another one. And I will file as many cases, and there is one coming from the city of Harvey and Clark and the team and Chief Biding. So I warned them of it, and we're not slowing down. So remember, these guys are sex offenders and everything else, allegedly. These guys are definitely criminal offenders. So, we have to stop them. And we urge everyone to continue working with the authorities. We can no longer accept what's happening to Harvey or accepting what's going on in the township. And we can't say, the questions that I can't handle is too much, or, they get away with it because they're protected. We gotta say what we can do about it. And what you can do is you can do a lot. We can make it our priority to keep our community safe, get these offenders off the streets. Sentencing for these predators is the laws must be amended, and we got to keep looking at every law that we can to get these criminals violated and help our community and help our society. We're not going to let them harm anybody else. These perpetrators must receive mandatory sentences on all of their offenses. If you know of something that they got away with in the past, let's look at the statute of limitations. Let's get them Let's get them on those things. Let's talk about getting them arrested on those things and take it to the authorities and let them do their thing. If not, then let's bring it to the courts of law and let them do their thing. At the same time, we see Shay, and I commend Shay and the work that Shay and Conscience they're doing in reference to just keeping the information out there. So we got to support them on the civil litigation case. You'll see more civil litigation from me as a reminder. These predators cannot be rehabilitated. They cannot be put back into society. I don't see it. I mean, and when they are released, or at the point when they do become incarcerated, you will see a big change in our communities. They're not the level of threat that they don't have the platform, I should say, that they make themselves out to be. But I can say that the distraction is high and the noise level is high. And so we don't want them to be free to destroy more innocent lives, because they can do that. So while we have the energy, we have the time, and we can make the determination to protect our community, we don't have to fear these guys. We can seek assistance from law enforcement. We can seek help. Self-defense is something that I stick by it. I swear by it. I keep my heat, and I won't hesitate to use my heat. I'm just saying. So keep that in mind too. We urge everyone to continue writing the law enforcement, the state police, the Department of Justice. Remember, Jedediah claimed that he is an agent of the Department of Justice. And, there's a program that I'm working on for that, which I'm sorry, Grace, I haven't done it yet, but I said I was. And, there's no exceptions. We got to go forward. I don't want to go into 2026 without us getting these people off the streets. And it's not an option. These are people who need to be institutionalized. All right, y'all. All right. So I thank you very much for your support and wholeheartedly. And, you're great. You're a great person. And everybody who's committed to the struggle. So with that being said, hey, y'all, I'm going to leave on a positive note. If y'all need to reach me, y'all can always reach me at amirshakurspeaks@gmail.com. Share this post. Like this post if you haven't. But here's my motivation, because we've been talking about subjects that are negative, and I just want to leave some positive things. So think big, trust yourself, and make it happen. I'm going to say that again. Think big, trust yourself, and make it happen. So that's my motivational spiel for today. That's my motivational speech for today. And hey, you know what? I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all following. Tomorrow we'll have Letitia Shakur. He's an internationally known specialist in criminal justice. And we're going to be talking about things on an international level. So that's tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And then Monday night, we have another show coming up about Samaj Crosby. So those who have been close to the Samaj Crosby fight, it ain't over with it. It's only just beginning. So tomorrow night at 8, we have British author and journalist, world-renowned, one of my friends and associates for years now. He's a consultant and a world-renowned consultant in forensic evidence. His name is Letitia James, and he's from England. He's widely traveled through Africa and around the country, and he works on miscarriages of justice. He's from London, England, and he works on the Fitted In Project, and he's also from my organization. He's the international director for Freedom First International. So let's look out for that. And then Monday, we'll be talking about, at 8 o'clock, we'll be talking about the murder of baby Samaj Crosby, and where we go from here. So appreciate you, Grace Levi. Appreciate you, Ramona, Miss Erica L. Lopez, sweetie, TK of TK. I appreciate you. Who else? Status Quo. Let's see who else was on here. Brian. I thought I saw Brian Wade. Maybe I didn't. And anyone else who's joined. Kevin Smith. I see you. Anyone else who's joined. Listen, y'all. Keep up the good work. Keep doing what you're doing. Let's reach out. Let's connect the dots, and let's keep pushing. Our work is making change happen. So I appreciate y'all. If you have any questions or if you have any thoughts for any continued shows, you can reach out to me at Amir Shakur Speaks at gmail.com or AmirShakurSpeaks.com is my website. And look out for my show, Amir Shakur Speaks at the Urban Watch in the morning. It's my live show. So let's do this. Let's keep it up. And, let's keep fighting those bad guys, y'all. That's primary important. Let's keep fighting those bad guys. So I'm out of here. I want to thank y'all for spending the last hour, almost 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes with me. And peace.